The camera's cut in mid-sentence. Barack Obama is already at the podium, his voice steady, carrying across the East Room like steel wrapped in velvet. Senators lean forward, reporters raise their pens, and the tension tightens with every syllable. Obama does not waste time on greetings. He goes straight for the jugular. He names the concealed deal, laying out the bones of a transaction that no one was supposed to see. The words slice through the room. This is not rumor. This is written. This is signed. Gasps ripple through the audience. A senator coughs into his fist. Another whispers furiously to an aide. The journalists fumble to record. Cameras zoom closer. Flashes ignite like sparks. Across the aisle, Donald Trump shifts in his seat. His face reddens. His jaw grinds. He pushes himself forward, almost knocking the chair behind him. The gesture is unmistakable. He will not let this moment pass without a fight. Trump's voice erupts, booming over the hall, demanding the microphone. Fake! Every word! A setup! He points a shaking finger toward Obama, the outrage raw and uncontained. Obama, calm as stone, refuses to yield the floor. He lifts his eyes from the paper and meets Trump's stare with deliberate silence. That silence burns hotter than any speech. The audience feels it, an open wound of authority versus fury, composure against chaos. The confrontation is no longer theory. It is live, it is public, and it is irreversible. The battle has started in front of the nation. Obama does not pause. His hand rises, holding up the document, the paper itself becoming a weapon. He unfolds it slowly, the crisp sound echoing like a crack of thunder in the chamber. He begins to read. The words are not vague claims or distant accusations. They are precise. Names, dates, figures. Every line of the transcript tightens the noose. On the 12th of March, approved by signature. The hall goes silent except for his voice. Senators exchange uneasy glances. Some lean back, lips pressed tight, while others lean forward, eyes wide, hungry for confirmation of what they suspected but never dared to say aloud. A reporter drops his pen, bends to pick it up, and misses a line that every other journalist is already racing to tweet. Trump cannot sit still. He lurches to his feet, his voice cracking like a whip across the hall. Lies! Pure lies! His palm slams the table. That transcript is a fabrication written by enemies planted to smear me. The microphones capture every syllable, his rage filling the broadcast. Obama does not flinch. He lowers the paper just enough to speak over the roar. If it is false, then why does your signature rest here? He taps the page with his finger, the motion deliberate, devastating. Gasps scatter through the room like breaking glass. The camera shutters go wild. A senator mutters, "God help us," and the phrase is caught by a hot mic. Trump pounds his chest with his fist. "This is treason! A hit job!" His face burns crimson, sweat streaking down his temple. The fury seems uncontained, almost primal. Yet the audience is no longer fully his. The weight of paper, ink, and dates has shifted the ground beneath him. In that moment, the stage is split in two. One man standing calm, armed with words, the other unraveling in rage before the nation's eyes. The silence after Obama's words lasts less than a heartbeat. Then the world outside the East Room takes over. Phones rise above heads, screens glow, and within seconds, the clip of Obama's revelation is ripped, uploaded, and shared. No edits, no filters, raw confrontation blasted into the bloodstream of the internet. On Twitter, hashtags detonate. Jatius Obama exposes, Trump. Live meltdown, Jatigon transcript gate. The clip is replayed millions of times before the broadcast even ends. Commentators interrupt scheduled segments, anchors shout over each other, and local stations abandon their scripts to cover the breaking storm. Inside the room, aides receive alerts faster than they can silence them. Notifications pile up. Viral shares, trending videos, headlines rewriting themselves in real time. A journalist whispers to her neighbor, "It's already on every platform." Trump sees it happening. His eyes dart to the glowing phones, to the cameras craning closer. Rage deepens into panic disguised as defiance. He waves his arms, bellowing, "Turn those off! Shut it down! They don't have the right!" His voice cracks with fury, and the microphones catch every jagged edge. But it is too late. The nation has already seen it. Obama steady, paper in hand, Trump unraveling before millions. The image is permanent. Across the country, living rooms, diners, and barbershops buzz. Radio stations cut their playlists. Clips loop on television screens in airport terminals and laundromats. Everywhere, the same words repeat, "This is not rumor. This is written. This is signed." The moment is no longer contained in the East Room. It belongs to the public, carried like wildfire, and Trump's team, watching the inferno from behind the stage, scramble desperately for a way to spin it before the blaze consumes everything. Trump slams his hand against the podium, demanding silence. His voice thunders through the hall, raw with fury. "This is a setup, a disgraceful ambush." The cameras drink in every second, capturing the veins standing out on his neck, the spit flying with each shout. He points at Obama, jabbing the air like a weapon. "You don't care about the people. You care about your own fame, your own power. This whole circus is a fraud." His allies in the front rows nod, some even rising to clap, desperate to show unity. But Obama doesn't raise his voice. His stillness cuts sharper than the outburst. He lowers the transcript to the podium, lets the silence settle, and simply says, "The truth doesn't need shouting." The phrase lands heavy, a dagger in the air. The room stirs, whispers ripple, and the contrast is unmistakable. Rage against restraint, chaos against calm. In the corridors outside the chamber, phones vibrate with incoming calls. Party leaders, their faces drawn, press their voices into the ears of Trump's strategists. "You're losing control. Get him under wraps. This isn't sustainable." The pressure mounts behind the scenes, voices of warning laced with panic. On television screens nationwide, commentators seize on the clash. Some echo Trump's words, claiming foreign manipulation, shadowy interference, planted evidence. Others insist the signature on the transcript is irrefutable. The country fractures in real time, each side digging trenches deeper. Back in the East Room, Trump leans closer to the microphone, snarling, "Mark my words, this ends tonight." His threat vibrates in the air, heavy with menace. Yet the cameras catch something else. Aides exchanging worried looks, staffers scribbling frantic notes, whispers sliding through the chamber. The counterattack has been launched, but already the cracks are visible. What was meant to be dominance reeks of desperation. The narrative has slipped from Trump's grasp, and everyone in the room knows it. The chamber does not empty when the broadcast ends. Instead, it fractures into tense clusters of whispered arguments and hurried phone calls. The senators retreat into side corridors, aides huddle in corners, and the air vibrates with the weight of what has just exploded into public view. Behind closed doors, the counterattack sharpens. Trump's closest circle gathers in a cramped side office, voices rising in panic. A senior advisor slams his palm against the desk. "We need a new narrative. Tonight. If that paper holds, tomorrow's headlines will bury us." Another whispers urgently, "Foreign interference. We push that angle hard. Russia, China, whoever sticks. Make people doubt the document before it's verified." Trump storms back and forth, his face a mask of crimson. He yells into the phone, barking orders at television producers and loyal hosts. "Say it's fake. Say it's treason against me. I want this burned before sunrise." He throws the phone onto the couch, sweat staining his collar, eyes burning with fury and dread. Meanwhile, Obama retreats into a smaller room with his advisors. The atmosphere is different, quiet but electric, the weight of history heavy in the air. One aide leans in, whispering, "Sir, that was only the first strike. If we bring out the second memo, it won't just be embarrassing. It'll be fatal." Obama pauses, his hands clasped, his face lit by the faint glow of the screen where live reactions are streaming in. Millions of Americans are already watching, sharing, dissecting. Far from Washington, the story spreads faster than the strategists can contain it. At a diner in Ohio, a group of veterans sit shoulder to shoulder, eyes fixed on the television bolted above the counter. One mutters, "He signed it, plain as day, no way around it." Another shakes his head, whispering, "It's not politics anymore, it's survival." Their words echo the sentiment Obama hammered into the East Room. On a factory floor in Pennsylvania, workers gather around a crackling radio. The announcer's voice repeats Obama's phrase, "This is not rumor, this is written, this is signed." A woman in stained overalls wipes her hands on a rag and mutters, "About time someone said it straight." Applause breaks out, spontaneous and uncoordinated. Back in Washington, the tension deepens. Late-night meetings unfold in shadowed offices. Senators who once stood firmly behind Trump begin to calculate the cost of loyalty. One whispers into the phone, "If more comes out, I can't defend him on the floor." Threats and promises snake through the marble hallways, pressure from donors, warnings from lobbyists, sudden offers of support from unexpected corners. Trump, meanwhile, grows more volatile. He demands loyalty oaths, threatens to cut off allies who hesitate, shouts into the night that he will crush this rebellion before it grows legs. His voice cracks with desperation, yet every word only tightens the noose. And through it all, Obama's calm statement reverberates louder with each passing hour. Proof, paper, signature. The promise of more evidence hangs like a sword over the Capitol. Every figure in power knows this is not the end. It is the beginning of a battle that will spill into hearings, into votes, into the very core of the nation's balance of power. The storm has moved from the podium into the veins of America, and the halls of power, once echoing with certainty, now quake with the sense that history has just shifted beneath their feet. The dawn breaks over Washington, but the city does not wake to calm. Headlines scream across every paper stand, televisions blare with looping clips of Trump's outburst, and the internet seethes with nonstop commentary. The confrontation has slipped beyond any strategist's control. Now it belongs to the people. Trump appears the next morning before cameras, but his voice is hoarse, his gestures frantic. He insists that the document was a total fake, a fraud cooked up by traitors. Yet the tone betrays him. His words no longer dominate. They stumble, repeat, fracture under the weight of his desperation. A reporter shouts, "Then why is your signature on it, sir?" The question hangs in the air like a hammer, and Trump's glare offers no answer. In contrast, Obama emerges later in the day, calm and composed, meeting with veterans at a modest community hall in Virginia. He does not raise his voice. He does not need to. "You paid in. You earned it. It's your money. It's your country," he says, and the room erupts in applause. The cameras catch the tears of an elderly man clutching his veteran's cap, the clenched fists of workers who whisper to one another, "Finally, someone's fighting for us." The fracture grows wider. On the Senate floor, voices once loyal to Trump begin to falter. Behind the scenes, party leaders whisper of hearings, of votes, of the price of silence. A memo circulates, more evidence, more signatures, more dates. Rumors of its release spread like wildfire, and with every whisper, Trump's circle shrinks tighter, more paranoid, more divided. Late that evening, in the shadows of the Capitol, calls are exchanged that sound less like strategy and more like surrender. A senator confesses to a colleague, "If he goes down, I won't go with him, not this time." The words, once unthinkable, now carry the weight of inevitability. Back at the White House, Trump rages alone, pacing, shouting at walls that do not answer. His phone vibrates with missed calls, but allies grow scarce. He stares at the glowing screen, watching Obama's calm declaration replayed endlessly. This is not rumor. This is written. This is signed. And then silence. Trump, for the first time in years, does not speak. He lowers himself into a chair, shoulders slumped, mouth pressed shut. The cameras outside wait for his next move, but no words come. The silence itself becomes the story. A silence heavier than any speech. A silence that signals weakness. A silence that history will not forgive. Across the nation, the tide shifts. From factory floors to living rooms, from veterans' halls to classrooms, the echo is the same. Politics has collapsed into survival. The people rally not around a party, but around the idea that truth, written, signed, undeniable, still holds power. The episode closes not with resolution, but with a shadowed promise. Obama hints at more evidence to come, and the air thickens with anticipation. The cliffhanger is set, the next strike hanging just out of sight. The balance of power has shifted, the cost of silence has risen, and the nation braces itself. The confrontation is over, but the war has only just begun.